Lin Moyu didn't hide his aura. Going back to Beishan courtyard is going home, so there's no need to sneak around. In the Beishan small courtyard, Meng Anwen was still the same, lying on the old chair, as if it hadn't moved. Bai Yiyuan and Yan Quangsheng were drinking tea and chatting. They seemed to have endless conversations, and of course they also had endless fights. Sometimes they stopped talking, and the two of them looked up at the sky, not knowing what they were thinking. At their level, although they still have to continue to practice, the more important thing is to understand. The level of the soul is the most important thing. As long as the level of the soul is raised, it is not difficult to improve the soul power. But if you want to improve your soul level, you have to comprehend the laws and comprehend nature. The process is not easy, and it is normal to have no progress for several years. Lin Moyu went over and rebrewed hot tea for the three of them. Teacher, drink tea. No matter how the strength changes, Lin Moyu is their disciple, and this will not change. Yan Quangsheng drank his tea and sighed again and again. When I see Xiaoyu, I feel like myself. Lin Moyu smiled. Teacher, you are in your prime. Bai Yiyuan snorted. Did you hear that? You are in your prime, go find a wife and have a baby. My daughter-in-law is my knife, and I can't bear it. Yan Quangsheng directly refused, not giving Bai Yiyuan any face. Bai Yiyuan glared at him. Be careful to become a eunuch. Yan Quangsheng stared at Bai Yiyuan. It's none of your business. You can enjoy it while you're still free. In a few months, you'll be busy. Lin Moyu immediately realized, Master's wife is pregnant. Bai Yiyuan blushed. Well, the baby is due in a few months. Congratulations, teacher. Lin Moyu immediately congratulated Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan is almost 100 years old, so he is really old. Meng Anwen suddenly said, Xiaoyu, you are not too young, and your marriage with Yi is about to be celebrated. Bai Yiyuan also nodded his head. Everything is settled now, it's about time to do it. Lin Moyu thought of Ning Yi. I haven't seen Yi for a long time, and I don't know how this girl is doing recently. Meng Anwen said, as usual, this girl is a bit crazy, and she forms a small team with the other girls, and is doing dungeons all over the world. Now all the dungeons in the world belong to our Shengxia. There are so many dungeons that we can't finish them, so there's no need to fight. The dungeon hall managed by Old Man Ning has lost a day and a half of people. I've seen those foreigners displeased for a long time, but I didn't expect them to be bastards made by the extraterrestrial race. Yan Quangsheng and Bai Yiyuan talked to each other, and it was rare for the two of them to talk together. Lin Moyu is drinking tea. The world has become what it is now, and it seems good. The civil strife has been completely eliminated, and now they only need to unite with the outside world and deal with the Abyss Demon with all their strength. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu. What are you thinking? Lin Moyu thought for a while. Yi and I have an agreement, we will get married when she reaches level 70. Bai Yiyuan suddenly laughed loudly. No wonder that girl Yi has been working so hard recently. Okay, girl Yi is already level 69, then we can get things ready. It seems to be ready. Let's discuss where to hold the wedding and who to invite for the new year. Well, this needs to be discussed carefully. After all, identities are different. Xiaoyu is our disciple, and Yi is Old Man Ning's precious granddaughter. This matter cannot be done simply. Then make it bigger and invite all those who should be invited and those who should not be invited. Several people started discussing again, but Lin Moyu became an outsider instead. They never asked Lin Moyu a word from the beginning to the end. But Lin Moyu also knew about Ning Yi's recent situation. Ning Yi and Mo Yun practiced together. They practiced very hard, and the speed of upgrading was very fast. Seeing that he was about to reach level 70, and it was the time they agreed on, it was time for him to come to propose marriage. Lin Moyu also checked his own status. The talent giant tree does not know where it is constantly absorbing power, and then instilling it into itself. Even if you don't practice, you can reach level 90 in a few days. Level 90 is also a god level. For many professionals, reaching the god level will be a huge transformation. Even though Lin Moyu has paved the way to become a god long ago, there will still be drastic changes. The first is that the attributes will increase significantly. Although the attribute is not very useful, it is a sign. At least before becoming a super god, attributes are still useful. When the law is understood thoroughly enough, you can start to control the law, and you can push one of the attributes to tens of millions, then you can break the bottleneck and step into the super god. After the super god level, the four-dimensional attribute will take a backstage. Soul and law will become the new standard to measure strength. Lin Moyu's gaze seemed to penetrate the space, looking at a place far away. If you want to propose a marriage, you can ask the teacher to come forward. For the wedding, you need to call your sister. Lin Moyu was thinking about it. Elder sister Lin Mohan is her only blood relative in this world, how could she not attend her wedding? Lin Mohan's character is too decisive, too assertive. After Dai Huang left, he didn't know what he had said to her. Lin Mohan told herself that everyone has their own way to go, and she also has her own way to go. Maybe one day in the future, we can meet again at the end. After that, Lin Moyu never heard from her. Teacher, have you met my sister? Lin Moyu asked. Meng Anwen shook his head. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but there was news of your sister during the chaos some time ago. Bai Yiyuan said in a low voice, backquote, at that time, tens of thousands of blood slaves broke into the island where the Creation Seminary is located. Quote, by the time we arrived, all the blood slaves of Sword God Academy had been killed. According to the students of the Creation Seminary, a goddess flew out from the deepest part of the college. The goddess held two swords and drew countless sword lights in the air, beheading all the blood slaves. Meng Anwen nodded. Your sister probably did it. We felt the breath of law there. Your sister may have reached level 96. Lin Moyu was also slightly surprised. He knows that his sister's talent can greatly increase the speed of cultivation. It's just that I didn't expect it to be so fast. This kind of talent seems to be that the higher the level, the faster the cultivation speed will be. And with Dai Huang around, Lin Mohan must have transferred his talent. Even after reaching level 90, talents still play a role. When the teacher arrived, my sister was gone. Lin Moyu asked. Meng Anwen hummed, she should have already. I want to go and see. Wang Zhao. I'll take you there. Meng Anwen didn't talk nonsense. With a point of his finger, God Seata immediately set up a simple teleportation array, which can go directly to the Creation Seminary. Creation Seminary is located on the island, and the waves beat on the beach, and there are rhythmic sounds. The teleportation array of Creation Seminary dimly lit up, and Lin Moyu stepped out of it. There is still a little distance from Creation Seminary. Lin Moyu identified the direction, the wings of the undead shook slightly, and the whole person appeared in the deepest part of the island as if teleported. Lin Moyu's soul has reached the 3rd grade, and the level is also 96, which is extremely sharp. Here, he felt the breath left by the half-step super god. It should be Dai Wang's breath. In addition, it is the breath that belongs to Lin Mohan. There is still a sharp law in the air, which should belong to Lin Mohan's law. It's not just level 96, it's already 97. Lin Moyu judged Lin Mohan's level through the rules. Although I had expected it a long time ago, I still couldn't help being a little shocked. Unknowingly, Lin Mohan's level has surpassed Meng Anwen. For her, the upgrade seems to have no bottleneck at all. Lin Moyu followed the breath of law and came to a small mountain, where a cave was dug. In this year, it is rare to see such a cave dug in the mountain. This cave gives Lin Moyu a feeling of ancient vicissitudes, as if it is not a product of this era. Lin Mohan's breath disappeared in front of the cave, but Lin Moyu can probably judge that Lin Mohan has been here for at least a month, and the law broke out here. Lin Moyu guessed that he might be practicing magic. There was a formation outside the cave, and Lin Moyu didn't break in without authorization. Sister, use the voice of the soul. The voice of the soul can penetrate the formation, and it will not be blocked by the cave. Lin Moyu believes that as long as Lin Mohan is inside, he will definitely be able to hear it. But after waiting for a while, there was no response. Lin Moyu called out again, and waited for a while, still the same. Lin Moyu's soul power slowly spread and penetrated into the cave. The gate of the cave suddenly lit up, blocking Lin Moyu's soul power. Small words. Lin Mohan's voice came from the formation. Lin Moyu replied, Sister, you are inside. Lin Mohan's voice came out through the formation, Xiaoyu, what's the matter? Hearing these words, Lin Moyu frowned slightly, and he faintly felt that something was wrong with Lin Mohan. Sister, are you okay? Lin Moyu asked. Fine. Lin Mohan answered firmly. Just these two words are somewhat similar to Lin Mohan's usual speaking style. Lin Mohan said, Xiaoyu, my sister is at a critical juncture in comprehending the law. It is a bit inconvenient. I will come to you after a while. Lin Moyu faintly felt the aura of law emanating from the cave. Although there were some doubts in my heart, I finally chose to believe Lin Mohan's words. Rather than choosing to believe Lin Mohan's words, it is better to say that he knows Lin Mohan well. The two grew up together since they were young, so they are naturally very clear about Lin Mohan's character. If something happened, Lin Mohan would definitely not hide it from him. If it is really a critical moment to comprehend the law, perhaps it is really difficult to be distracted. Lin Moyu also had a similar experience. Once he immersed his mind in it, he would not pay too much attention to the passage of time. Lin Moyu thought for a while, then I'll go first, sister, remember to come to me after you've comprehended, I have something to tell you. Good. After saying this word, the formation stopped. Lin Moyu took a deep look at Dongfu, then turned away. He always remembered Lin Mohan's words, everyone has their own way to go. Maybe Lin Mohan is going his own way. Undead wings trembled, like lightning flashing across the sky. This time, Lin Moyu didn't push his speed to the limit. After returning to the land, he looked down on the land from the air, passed through cities, and looked at the people living in each city along the way. The whole world has indeed changed dramatically. After the catastrophe, people quickly put into the action of rebuilding their homes. Now the whole world is owned by the Shengxia people, and there is no longer any land issue. The internal troubles have completely disappeared, and the good character of Shengxia people's hard work has truly been displayed. There are hard-working people working on construction everywhere. The whole world is full of vitality. Along the way, I saw many dungeons in the wild, and many people were organizing teams in front of the dungeons. There are also teams cleaning up the bosses in the wild to obtain equipment. Hey, what a coincidence. The corner of Lin Moyu's mouth raised suddenly, he felt Ning Yi's breath. At this time, his soul was extremely sharp, and from a long distance, Lin Moyu captured Ning Yi's aura. A white light soared into the sky, accompanied by Ning Yi's excited screams. The white light means that the level has increased, and Ning Yi has finally reached level 70. In front of her, a wild boss was falling to the ground. This field boss became a stepping stone for Ning Yi to upgrade. Shu Han smiled, what are you doing so happy, little girl, do you think you can finally get married? Ning Yi blushed, Sister Shu Han, what are you talking about? Shu Han stared at Ning Yi with a pair of beautiful eyes, hey, I'm still blushing. Am I talking nonsense? You Nair, Xiangshan, do you think I'm talking nonsense? Ning Yi snorted, I'm not the only one who wants to marry, Sister Shu Han, don't you want to marry? I don't know who it is, but it's calling Lin Shuidi when I'm sleeping. Ning Yi's words were more powerful than star-level spells. Shu Han was speechless immediately, his pretty face flushed red. Mo Yun pulled Mu Xiangshan away 2 steps quickly, away from the battle between the two of them. Ning Yi had the upper hand, and said, Sister Shu Han, I'm not wrong. Shu Han retreated, Wei Nuo didn't know how to answer. Mo Yun whispered in Mu Xiangxian's ear, Xiangshan, I didn't talk in my sleep when I was sleeping. Mu Xiangshan thought for a while, probably not, what about me? Mo Yun shook her head, I didn't hear that either. Shu Han was not Ning Yi's opponent, he was defeated in a few words, but he was unwilling to call for reinforcements immediately. Yunair, what did you say to me last time? If you want to find your husband in the future, you have to find him. Mo Yun's face changed drastically, and she rushed to Shu Han, covering Shu Han's mouth with one hand, don't say anything. Ning Yi was stunned for a moment, wondering why the always calm Mo Yun had such a big reaction. And Mo Yun's face turned red no matter what. Ning Yi suddenly thought of something, Sister Yunair, you won't. Mo Yun immediately shook her head, no, I never said I would marry her. Ning Yi was stunned on the spot, and Mo Yun was also stunned, she realized that she had slipped up. Bang! The hammer in Mu Xiangxian's hand fell to the ground. Shu Han came to his senses, rolled his eyes, and said to Mu Xiangshan, Xiangshan, last time you said you were drunk and that the person you liked the most was Lin Shuidi, right? Mu Xiangshan shook her head desperately, no, it was drunken talking nonsense. Shu Han chuckled, that's called telling the truth after drinking. Ning Yi mechanically turned her head to look at Mu Xiangshan, Sister Xiangshan, is it true? No, I really don't talk nonsense when I'm drunk. Mu Xiangshan desperately denied it. Ning Yi is not a fool, she guessed right away. For a moment she didn't know what to do. In the past few years, the four of them have mixed together all day long, facing danger together and sharing happiness together. The relationship between the four of them has long been to the point where they can entrust their lives to each other. Love and sisters are not enough to describe, and the friendship between life and death is also shallow. But never expected. Ning Yi was confused for a moment, not knowing what to do. There is a feeling that I treat you as sisters, but you want to rob men from me. Tears fell down uncontrollably. The three hurriedly gathered around, chattering to comfort Yi. Ning Yi was not the only one upset. Above the sky, Lin Moyu also had a headache. He didn't know what to do. Originally, he wanted to show up, but after all, he hadn't seen Ning Yi for so long, and he missed him a lot. But now, if it goes down, it is estimated that the trouble will be big. Lin Moyu thought about it, and chose to walk as the best policy. Undead Wing was shocked and disappeared without a trace. Bai Yiyuan's deafening laughter resounded in Beishan's courtyard. Yan Quangsheng stood aside and did not express his opinion. He has no experience and is not qualified to speak. Bai Yiyuan is actually not qualified, but as someone who has experienced it, it is still no problem to make fun of Lin Moyu. Henceforth, because of the disrespectful Bai Yiyuan, he laughed unscrupulously, not giving Lin Moyu any face. In this regard, Lin Moyu can only choose to ignore it. I don't know when I realized that my teacher, the majestic killing god in everyone's mind, turned out to be such an unscrupulous person. Lin Moyu thought about it, and it should be the first time he went to the bloody place, he showed something. Only Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu with a gentle smile. Lin Moyu also knows that perhaps only Meng Anwen can give himself the answer. This old teacher who calms the nerves hides his secrets. Gone among the flowers, not a single leaf sticks to the body. Should be able to solve your problem. Meng Anwen stretched out the cup. Lin Moyu immediately poured hot tea for him, and handed back the fragrant teacup respectfully. When you ask for help, you have to look like you are asking for help. Meng Anwen said slowly, only for. What do you call for? The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth twitched twice, not knowing how to answer. Meng Anwen said, Yi Yi is the granddaughter of Old Man Ning, Yunair is the granddaughter of Lao Mo, and Shu Han is the granddaughter of Shu Yaoshan. The families of these three people are tied together, you understand. The Ning family, the Mo family, and the Shu family are all big families, and they all belong to giant-like existences. If any family came out, it would be enough to shake the entire Shengxia. What's more, the three families are tied together. Lin Moyu said, and they have such a good relationship with Yi. Meng Anwen chuckled. There's also that girl named Mu Xiangshan, who is pure and has a deep relationship with Yi, like a sister. Xiaoyu, the teacher asks you, are you interested in the three of them? Lin Moyu shook his head, saying it didn't mean anything. Now it is not a matter of whether I am interested in them, but that they are interested in themselves. Meng Anwen continued to ask, then do you hate them? Lin Moyu shook his head again, no. Think about it, you have crossed paths with any of the three. On the ancient battlefield, move forward and fight together with Mo Yun. Mo Yun is decisive, never procrastinating, she is a good female hero. Brush up dungeons with Mu Xiangshan to increase income. Mu Xiangshan is a simple person, like a piece of white paper, she doesn't fight or grab anything, and she is extremely obedient and well-behaved. In the college, Shu Han is like a confidant elder sister, elegant, intellectual, and considerate. Looking at the three of them individually, they are all excellent women. Lin Moyu regarded them as friends, but never had that kind of thought. Meng Anwen smiled, not at all. Or more or less. Lin Moyu was about to speak, but was interrupted by Meng Anwen. You don't need to answer, in fact, your behavior has already given the answer, W. If there is nothing at all, you should have gone down generously before. There are some things, just make it clear. Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback, is that so? Isn't it? Meng Anwen sipped his tea, squinting his eyes with a smile that couldn't be concealed. Lin Moyu has always been calm and can make quick judgments on everything, but in terms of emotions, he is really not good. Meng Anwen said, most things in the world can be divided into black and white. But feelings can't. If you really don't have any ideas, just tell them clearly and tell them not to wait. Don't be like Lao Bai, who hangs on others and waits half a lifetime for it to bear fruit. Bai Yiyuan's laughter stopped abruptly, and he turned around to himself as he talked. Yan Quangsheng held back his laughter. That's right, I'm an emotional idiot, so I'm not qualified to make jokes. Bai Yiyuan snorted, it's better than you as an old bachelor. That's because I don't want to look for it. If I want to look for it, there are still a lot. Lin Moyu automatically blocked the two of them, and continued to seek help from Meng Anwen. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and a simple formation enveloped the two of them, isolating the outside sound. Xiaoyu, in fact, what the teacher learned, you should marry them all. Meng Anwen's earnest words surprised Lin Moyu. Married? It never occurred to him. Meng Anwen said, except for Yi, all three of them are your friends, right? At the same time, the three of them are also Yi's friends, right? Assuming that you only marry Yi, will it be awkward between you in the future? Does it mean you don't even have to be friends? Besides, the three of them will be sad, and Yi probably won't be happy either. Rather than make it so embarrassing, it's better to marry them all. Lin Moyu didn't know what to say anymore. His teacher's theory really opened his eyes. Can you even think about it that way? Meng Anwen smiled lightly. Given your status in the empire, you are privileged. It's no problem to marry more. As for those old guys, I will tell you for you as a teacher. Don't worry, it's not uncommon for families like Yi and Mo Yun to marry several wives at the same time. Old man Ning has 3 wives. Zero asked for flowers. And you also said that the 4 of them didn't quarrel, which just shows something. It sounds like what Meng Anwen said makes sense, but Lin Moyu always feels that something is wrong. Meng Anwen went on to say, a man, hesitation is what it is. Either marry all of them, or marry none of them, you decide. Lin Moyu suddenly asked, teacher, why didn't you marry? Meng Anwen chuckled, there are too many people, I can't keep busy. In one sentence, Lin Moyu was speechless. Too many people. ... Indeed, there were quite a few, no fewer than 20 I saw that day. Maybe there are still not seen. When Meng Anwen was young, he was recognized as the most beautiful man in the entire Shengxia Empire, and there were too many women who liked him. Meng Anwen talked a lot with Lin Moyu again. Either marry all or none at all. If you marry only one, you will be sad for 3 people and lose 3 friends. The tradition of the Shengxia Empire is not monogamous, generally capable men will always marry a few more. In the end, Lin Moyu was successfully brainwashed under Meng Anwen's tricks. The rest will be left to Meng Anwen and others. According to the tradition of the Shengxia Empire, the elders must come forward to propose a marriage. Meng Anwen is the best candidate. In Chia Jingning's house, a job transfer formation is in operation. Ning Yi sat quietly in the center of the formation, accepting the baptism from the laws of heaven and earth. The formation was arranged by Meng Anwen himself, and it is definitely the best job transfer formation among the human race. Sensing Ning Yi's state in the formation, Meng Anwen knew that there would be no problems. Then it depends on Ning Yi's luck. Ning Yi has the elemental god stone given by Lin Moyu, which can increase the probability of professional sublimation, plus the array he arranged, and a large number of treasures brought out by the Ning family. The probability of career promotion is more than 50%. At the same time, Ning Yi also has the talent god stone and the skill god stone. Not only can awaken talents, but also strengthen skills. Lin Moyu took a completely different path. These things are useless, and all of them are given to Ning Yi. With these things, even if Ning Yi doesn't have a career improvement, her influence won't be too great. Meng Anwen and Ning Tyran stood side by side, and the rest of them were all 10 meters away. No matter their status, they were not qualified to stand side by side with them. Meng Anwen whispered, Old Ning, I want to propose a marriage for Xiaoyu. Ning Tyran seemed to have expected it a long time ago. His eyes flickered, good job. Ning Tyran agreed very straightforwardly, not dragging his feet at all. Meng Anwen was a little surprised. You agree now? You want me to refuse? Ning Tyran asked back, with a hint of weirdness. You old guy, don't you value your precious granddaughter more than anything else? Is it useful to watch closely? Is it okay if I don't agree? Yi will let me go. There are 3 question marks in a row. What is the point? Some of the words prepared before are useless. Originally, he thought that the old guy Ning Tyran would be arrogant, and he needed to talk about it himself. Unexpectedly, he agreed all of a sudden, which surprised Meng Anwen. Ning Tyran said, we will discuss a time later, and then you can give some dowry as you like, and we will settle the matter. Meng Anwen said in a low voice, Old Ning, there is still something wrong here. Ning Tyran frowned suddenly, what's the problem? Don't tell me Lin Kid doesn't want to marry. 360. Meng Anwen shook his head slightly, that's not the case, it's Mo Yun and Shu Han. What happened to them? Ning Tyran didn't understand for a while. Meng Anwen looked at Ning Tyran, took a deep breath, and simply spoke clearly. He once again displayed his powerful deceiving ability, which was also mixed with his own daughter-in-law's failure. Ning Tyran listened, and when he was walked in, his brows became tighter and tighter. After listening, Ning Tyran thought for a long time, and finally couldn't help but ask, "What did Yi say?" Meng Anwen glanced at Ning Tyran. "I haven't asked yet, I'll find out after I ask. First ask if you agree, if you don't agree, then pretend I didn't say anything. Anyway, Xiaoyu and Yi's marriage will not change, so we can do whatever we want. As for the other three, I will go and make an agreement. It's a big deal that we won't be friends in the future, and we won't see each other anymore, so as to save embarrassment. The Ning family, the Mo family, and the Shu family are good friends from generation to generation, and this has lasted for many years. Although it is just something between the juniors, these juniors are the treasures of each family. The relationship between them is not good, which means that there is a rift between the families." Ning Tyran also had to think about it. Seeing that Ning Tyran was hesitant, Meng Anwen knew that this guy was a little shaken, so he immediately struck while the iron was hot. "Will it be a word for you? We have known each other for so many years, life and death, so I will ask you what you mean first." Meng Anwen held Ning Tyran in his arms, holding it up first. At least it made Ning Tyran feel comfortable. Ning Tyran is obviously very useful, there are not many people in the world who can compare with him. Meng Anwen is one, so Meng Anwen's compliments are very useful. After thinking about it, Ning Tyran finally made a decision. "As long as Yi has no objection, I will reluctantly agree." Meng Anwen wanted this answer. Everything else is actually easy to handle, the most troublesome thing is Ning Tyran. As long as Ning Tyran let go, Mo Xinghai and Xu Yaoshan, he is sure. Suddenly there was a roar in the air, beams of light descended from the sky, and then the law tumbling. "Professional sublimation," Ning Tyran shouted, with joy in his eyes. Ning Yi has successfully stimulated professional sublimation, and will be promoted in an all-round way. Then Ning Yi took out 2 divine stones, the divine stone of talent and the divine stone of skill. The talent god's stone can awaken a new talent. The skill god's stone can strengthen the skills it owns. These 2 things were originally intended to be used by Lin Moyu himself, but later he took a completely different path from others, so these 2 things were no longer needed. Half a day later, Ning Yi's 3rd job transfer was successfully completed. The transfer formation slowly stopped, and Ning Yi was in high spirits with a playful smile. "Grandpa Meng, thank you." Meng Anwen chuckled, "You'll have to change your tune in the future." Ning Yi immediately understood the meaning of Meng Anwen's words, and her face couldn't help but blush. "But if you say that, you will be a generation younger than my grandpa." Meng Anwen smiled, "We have our own opinions, so don't worry about it. Your grandpa won't take advantage of me if you think about it." 17. Ning Tyran snorted softly, "I'm not that old yet." Meng Anwen smiled, "Look, your grandpa is still very reasonable. Yi, Grandpa Meng wants to tell you something and ask your opinion." Ning Yi has matured a lot in the past few years, and her temperament is much calmer than before. Her big eyes blinked slightly. "You tell me." Meng Anwen said, "Let's change places, and I only say this to you." Ning Yi snorted, seeing that her grandfather had no objections, and then led Meng Anwen to the side. Meng Anwen casually set up a soundproof formation. Ning Tyran looked at the 2 people in the formation. Although he couldn't hear what they were saying, he could still tell from Ning Yi's expression. What surprised Ning Tyran was that his precious granddaughter didn't have much reaction. "This seems to be completely different from what I thought." Not only was there no big reaction, Ning Yi was still nodding. It looked like he agreed. The 2 didn't talk for a long time. Meng Anwen withdrew the formation. "Mr. Ning, I'll go first, and go to Mo's house and Xu Yaoshan's house. You guys also get ready, I'll come back in 2 days." As soon as Meng Anwen left, Ning Tyran immediately pulled Ning Yi. "What did Lao Meng tell you?" Ning Yi blushed. "Grandpa Meng said that he will come to propose marriage in 2 days, and he has already agreed." "Anything else?" "Also." Ning Yi's face turned redder, and she lowered her head slightly. "Grandpa Meng also said that Sister Mo Yun, Sister Shu Han, and even Xiangshan might marry Lin Moyu with me." Ning Tyran blew his beard. "You agreed?" Ning Yi lightly nodded her head. Ning Tyran couldn't help heaving a long sigh. In fact, after seeing Ning Yi's reaction, Ning Tyran already knew that this girl most likely agreed. Ning Tyran asked, "Tell Grandpa, what do you think, that guy Lin Moyu married 4 at a time?" Ning Yi lowered her head. "I didn't think much about it, Grandpa. Didn't you marry 3, and Moyu is so good, it doesn't matter if you have 1 more." Ning Tyran was depressed, his breath was stuck in his chest, and he couldn't even vomit it out. Yes, I have married 3, Lin Moyu just married 1 more than myself, what's wrong? Speaking of this, it seems that this is indeed the case. In the era when the war was the most fierce, in order to continue the blood, more powerful people were born. It is normal for a strong person in the Shengxia Empire, or a professional with excellent blood, to have multiple wives and children. This tradition has also been preserved with historical changes. Lin Moyu can say that 2.6 is the most outstanding and powerful man in the world. If he asks, let alone marry 4, I am afraid that hundreds of thousands of people will be fine. Ning Tairen finally had nothing to say, and heaved a long sigh. When Meng Anwen came back, he had a smile on his face. Everything was settled, and neither Mo Xinghai nor Xu Yaoshan objected. Meng Anwen also asked what Mo Yun and Xu Han meant. Although the two were very shy, they finally agreed. As for Mu Xiangshan, this girl has no father or mother, and was frowned upon by the president of the Jialan Guild since she was a child. Meng Anwen went directly to the Jialan Guild, and the result was also very satisfactory. The next step is the formal door-to-door marriage proposal and discussing the wedding date. Lin Moyu doesn't need to worry about these things. As Lin Moyu's teachers, Meng Anwen, Bai Yiyuan, and Yan Quangsheng take care of all the work. Lin Moyu sits back and enjoys his achievements. A few days later, Meng Anwen, Bai Yiyuan, and Yan Quangsheng came hand in hand to propose marriage in person. The 3 of them first went to Ning's house and discussed the wedding date with Ning Tairen. Then the 3 went to the Mo family, the Xu family, and the Jialan Guild respectively. After discussion, the wedding was fixed in a month. The 3 of them were very high profile and did not hide it at all. So the news that Lin Moyu was going to get married swept through the entire Shengxia Empire like a gust of wind. Most people in the Shengxia Empire followed Lin Moyu as an example, and no one felt that there was anything wrong with Lin Moyu marrying 4 people. There are even people who think that Lin Moyu has few marriages, and it should be enough to marry dozens or hundreds. Lin Moyu couldn't laugh or cry when he heard the news, he wanted to treat himself as a stallion. According to the customs of the Shengxia Empire, after the wedding date is set, the 2 parties are not allowed to meet. Lin Moyu thought a lot in a few days. He knew that he didn't have deep feelings for Mo Yun, Xu Han, and Mu Xiangshan, but he still liked him to some extent. All 3 are beauties, and any one of them has a charm that ordinary people can't resist. So subconsciously, Lin Moyu did not object. This is normal psychology and there is no need to avoid it. Lin Moyu faces up to his heart, knows what he wants, right and wrong, as long as he decides for himself. As for Ning Yi, she also thought it was normal. After all, in a big family like her, many elders have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Even the most beloved grandfather married 3, and the 3 grandmothers were very kind to him. Growing up in such a family, Ning Yi has long accepted it. Lin Moyu's marriage has already started to be arranged, but Meng Anwen and others are all busy, and Lin Moyu has nothing to do. In the deepest part of Creation Seminary, Lin Moyu appeared in front of the cave. The soul force flowed slowly, activating the formation in front of the cave. Sister, the voice of the soul came into the cave. Lin Mohan's aura came faintly from the formation, and Lin Moyu felt that Lin Mohan seemed to have become stronger again. The breath became more majestic, and the law was extremely strong. It seems to be close to a half-step super god. It's only been a few days, and Lin Mohan's strength has been greatly improved again. If this continues, Lin Mohan will become a half-step super god in less than 10 days and half a month. Just like Jiang Yi, a half-step super god at level 98. Even Lin Moyu should not be envious of this upgrade speed. Obtaining soul power is not difficult, what is difficult is to comprehend the law and improve the soul level. I really don't know what kind of talent Lin Mohan is, he really ignored the bottleneck. Xiaoyu, what's the matter? Lin Mohan's voice came through the array. Her voice was full of air, unhurried, obviously nothing happened. Lin Moyu said, my wedding date is fixed, and it will be held in Zhenzong Academy in 1 month. Really? Lin Mohan's voice was full of surprise, is it with that girl Yi? Lin Moyu said, there is Yi, and others. Lin Mohan's voice raised a few more pitches again, really? Lin Moyu hummed, there are 4 in total. Little brother, you finally figured it out, our family can finally spread its branches and leaves. Lin Mohan was very happy, his breath fluctuated violently, and the collision of laws made a roar. Lin Moyu was even more sure at this time that his sister should be fine, and the doubts of the past few days were completely erased. Sister, will you come when the time comes? Of course, why don't you come to my younger brother's wedding? Lin Mohan agreed without hesitation. Just come. Lin Moyu didn't bother Lin Mohan anymore. He could feel the law fluctuations in the cave, and knew that Lin Mohan might be in an emergency and sent to the hospital. In the cave, in a small stone room, Lin Mohan faced a stone wall and said, "How about waiting another month?" No resistance this time. Starlight suddenly radiated from the stone wall, and at the same time a majestic voice came out. The voice seemed to carry a heavy coercion, instantly suppressing all the laws in the stone room and immobilizing them. It's not just the law that can't move, Lin Mohan is also the same. It was as if there was a heavy burden on her body, firmly suppressing her. Is resistance useful? Lin Mohan sighed. It's really useless. The deity will give you another month. After 1 month, the deity will come to pick you up. The sound died away, and the stone walls no longer glowed. All laws flowed again. Lin Mohan's eyelids twitched. It was not the first time that the owner of this voice made a sound. Every time he appeared, it was so terrifying. Compared with his teacher Dai Huang, the owner of this voice is many times more terrifying. Lin Mohan's head hurt for a while, and he rubbed his forehead. How can there be such a person who recruits apprentices? I've heard of buying and selling by force, and recruiting apprentices by force. How can there be such a person? She only dared to think about it, but dared not say it. Lin Mohan clearly remembered that when he broke through to level 96, the other party suddenly appeared and said that he wanted to accept his apprentice. It's useless even if you object. The opponent's strength is too strong, so strong that he can't resist at all. And the opponent is extremely strong. If he does not agree, the world will be destroyed. Lin Mohan had no doubts. She felt that the other party was not trying to scare people, but really had this strength. So Lin Mohan tried his best to stabilize the other party first, but unfortunately the effect was minimal. During this period of time, besides practicing, I just talked to the other party. Although the other party's attitude is not very good, he is full of coercion and extremely arrogant. But I would still like to say a few words to myself. Lin Mohan gradually learned some things about the big world, some things Dai Huang once told her. She knew that there is a big world outside her own world. But Dai Huang didn't know too much, and he didn't say clearly. Now, I already have a certain understanding of the big world. The other party said at the time that when he reached the half-step super god, he would come to pick him up. Lin Mohan originally thought that he could stop practicing. But the other party didn't give him a chance at all, forcibly instilling huge soul power and various understandings of laws. Under the teaching of cramming, even if Lin Mohan is unwilling, the 613 level is constantly improving. Lin Mohan tried all kinds of resistance, but none of them worked. Even, the other party was not allowed to leave the room. Under such circumstances, Lin Mohan's level was promoted faster and faster, as if he was on a rocket. In the end Lin Mohan had to compromise. 1 month, and 1 more month. Lin Mohan clutched her head. A month later she would definitely be taken away by the other party and become a stranger's apprentice. In any case, at least I have to attend Lin Moyu's wedding first. Leaving Creation Theological Academy and on the way back, Lin Moyu's body suddenly emitted a pure white light. Then a beam of light descended from the sky, enclosing him in it. The beam of light connects the sky and the earth and shoots into the ocean. For a time, the wind and clouds rolled up, and the blue waves surged into the sky. A strange aura began to emanate from Lin Moyu's body, and waves of coercion continued to radiate outward. Upgraded. Lin Moyu murmured to himself. He had expected to upgrade in the next few days, but he didn't expect the upgrade to come earlier than expected. Level 90, also known as God level. It's a huge transformation. There are many and various descriptions about the God level. But there has never been any kind of description that can fully explain the God level. Everyone understands differently, and the information they get is naturally different. Antares told him that he must reach level 90 in the human world, but did not say the specific reason. Everything needs to be realized by oneself. The power of law descended from heaven and earth, and Lin Moyu's aura began to rise continuously. In all directions, winds and clouds are raging, a huge vortex appears in the sea, there are countless waterspouts soaring into the sky all around, lightning and thunder are flashing between the sky and the earth, like the end of the world. No one has ever caused such a huge commotion when he reached the God level. Lin Moyu's strength is too strong. The law enters the body and penetrates into the world of the soul, bringing great benefits to both body and soul. The physical body becomes stronger, and so does the soul world. It's just that Lin Moyu's soul world is already strong enough. This enhancement can only be regarded as icing on the cake. But the physical body is different. This time the physical body has been greatly improved, as if a bottleneck has been broken, and the attributes start to rise like a rocket. It is said that after level 90, the soul is more important than the attribute. In fact, the attribute always has its meaning before it becomes the super god level. It is like a sign again, telling you all the time where there is still a lack. Lin Moyu carefully felt his ever-increasing attributes, his ever-increasing physical strength, and his slightly elevated soul level. Realize. Lin Moyu kept Antares' advice firmly in mind. Level 90 is not only a transformation of oneself, but also a transformation relative to the world. If you want to become the master of the world, you must seize this opportunity. Lin Moyu didn't know why before, but now he finally understands. Before his eyes, the world changed. His perspective keeps rising. Following the law, he rises to the edge of the world. Condescending, overlooking the whole world. Lin Moyu once saw the projected graphics of the world in the palace of the Demon Emperor. But that is just a graphic, far less shocking and clear than what I saw with my own eyes. He saw the world of the human race. The world of the human race is full of vitality. It is a complete and beautiful world. At the same time, he also saw the fragmented world of the abyss and the dragon race. They were like two parasites, parasitic in the human race world. The two fragmented worlds are surrounded by huge chaos, constantly absorbing nutrients from the human world to maintain their own existence. If they are separated from the world of the human race, they will soon fall into disaster and eventually be destroyed. It is true that they are parasites. Lin Moyu knew that if these two fragmented worlds like parasites appeared before the big battle on the spot. In the years when the will of the human world was extremely strong, these two fragmented worlds would be devoured and destroyed in minutes, let alone parasitic. The war between the worlds is crueler than the race war. Lin Moyu felt something in his heart. If the inter-ethnic wars are not only perishing, there will be some survivors. Then the war between the worlds is either life or death. Either you devour me, or I devour you. Then the line of sight changed again, and Lin Moyu saw the core of the world. Every world has a core. Even if the world collapses, its core may survive. Just like the core of the world obtained by Lin Moyu, it is the only thing left after the world collapses. On the core of the world, there are imprints of countless creatures. These imprints, also known as true spirit imprints, are the origin and root of a person born in this world. Lin Moyu saw his true spirit imprint at a glance. The imprint of the true spirit can play many functions in the hands of the strong, such as tracking one's position through the imprint of the true spirit. You can even curse yourself with the imprint of the true spirit. Antares also said that if he wanted to take Ningyi and the others away, he had to take them along with the imprint of the true spirit. But that can only be manipulated after becoming the master of the world. Now it's just a display, you can see but not move. The imprint has an unusual significance to the world. The more imprints and creatures there are, the stronger the world will be. Lin Moyu also understood the purpose of the arrival of the two fragmented worlds. They want to destroy the main creatures in the human world, obliterate the imprint of their existence, and let the power of the world completely decline. In the end, they devoured the entire world in reverse, and even made their fragmented worlds into complete small worlds. Then the devil or the strong in the dragon clan will come and take the fruit. It's just that my own world is a little special. Be it the demon family or the dragon family, they are destined not to succeed. They did have the ability to destroy the human race back then, but it was impossible to swallow the entire world. With Antares, it would hold the final bottom line. It is impossible for the human race to truly perish. At most, they will be completely maimed, and the last fire can always be preserved. Unexpectedly, Abyss and Dragon Clan arrived at the same time. Before they could beat the disabled human race, they had already fought against each other. Coupled with the fact that the Demon Emperor Lilian wanted to survive, she began to create checks and balances. This allowed the race to seize the opportunity and develop again. According to Antares, the human world is just a pawn, a tool for some strong players in the big world to play games. In this world, there is a treasure. Many powerhouses fought for this treasure. There is even a reason why Antares came here. Lin Moyu feels that his connection with the world is getting closer and closer, and Lin Moyu feels the will of the world. The will of the world is very kind to itself, without any exclusion. In the eyes of the will of the world, he is a child of this world and a member of this world. Lin Moyu was blessed to the heart. With a slight movement of the soul, the power of the world stripped from the core of the world flew out and sent into the place of the will of the world. The whole world suddenly roared, and the whole world shone brilliantly at this moment. When wild beasts and Zerg invaded back then, the will of the world was awakened, and all the power of the world was gathered to fight with all its strength. After this battle, the will of the world fell asleep and the power of the world withered. This time, it gets a supplement from Lin Moyu. Moreover, the power of these worlds was stripped out by Lin Moyu with his own soul little by little, and it was full of Lin Moyu's will. While receiving the power of these worlds, he is actually accepting Lin Moyu's will. Lin Moyu feels that the will of the world has opened a door for him, and welcomes him to enter. Lin Moyu entered this gate and saw a brand new world, the world belonging to the will of the world. Various laws filled the entire space, and light clusters composed of countless colors floated in front of his eyes. This is the origin and core of the world. Lin Moyu knows that as long as he refines him, he can become the master of the world. But it is not easy to refine the origin of the world. It is complete, not incomplete. All laws are also complete, although not as powerful as the laws of the great world, but very complete. Various laws can be realized here, and the laws are all close to realization, so it is very easy to realize. It's a pity that no one can stay here for a long time except the Lord of the world. After only entering here for less than a minute, Lin Moyu felt the emotion of the will of the world at this time, and it wanted to leave by itself. Although he came in by sending the power of the world, but soon, Wang Dezhao will be kicked out. Lin Moyu knew what he should do. He didn't force himself to stay here, that would anger the will of the world. The will of the world has no wisdom, only instinct, and everything works by instinct. Back then, the will of the world instinctively felt that he was in a dangerous situation, so he instinctively joined the human gods to fight against the invaders. Before leaving, Lin Moyu left his soul imprint on the origin of the world. There are many functions of the soul imprint. It can be used as a road sign to guide, and it can also express one's goodwill. Coupled with the power of the world gifted to it, it will be much easier to come in next time. Consciousness returns to the real world, the law between heaven and earth continues, and the promotion is not yet completely over. Attributes are still improving. Lin Moyu donated the power of the world to the will of the world, and the will of the world also sent a gift in return. When all the magic stars in the soul world are shining, especially the corpse explosion, skill planet, the light is particularly strong. With a move in Lin Moyu's heart, he immediately poured soul power into his master. The will of the world has no self-awareness, only instinct. In sleep, everything works according to the rules. Lin Moyu gave power to the world, and according to the rules, it will naturally give back. Its gift in return is a trace of the origin of the world. Corpse Explosion is a planetary level spell, and its fusion rate is only 20%. It is very difficult to improve again in the follow-up, and various opportunities are needed. It was just a small chance to be promoted to the god level, and with the help of the world's origin, the degree of integration began to increase. Originally, when a human professional was promoted to the god level, the spell planet would be enhanced. Now most of Lin Moyu's spells have been converted to star rank, which has reached the limit of the small world rules, and there is no way to upgrade. Only Damage Transfer, Corpse Explosion, and Summon Skeleton King still have room for improvement. This time, a trace of the origin of the world fell on Corpse Explosion, and Lin Moyu's soul power was distributed, and the degree of integration was finally improved. The degree of fusion has not increased much, only increased to 40%. Corpse Explosion, Fusion 40%, detonate the corpse or wreckage, causing damage equal to 40% of the corpse's life value to the designated target within 400 meters. The effect of spells, whether it is the range or the damage value, has been improved. The improvement of integration is not the key point is that Lin Moyu 467 feels the goodwill of the world will. It's very important to what he's going to do. It may take a few days for others to advance to the god level. The upper limit of rules in the small world is too low, and Lin Moyu's strength is too strong, almost to the point where there is no room for promotion. Lin Moyu's promotion took a very short time, and it ended in less than an hour. The whole world regained its calm again. At this time, all the god-level powerhouses in the world were relieved at the same time. Just now they felt an incomparably huge coercion, which made them breathless and difficult to breathe. The coercion comes from the will of the world. When he sent out the power of the will of the world recovered briefly. The coercion that emanated at that time affected everyone. Lin Moyu. Lillian's voice suddenly sounded. Her voice was very special, clear and majestic. Lin Moyu never forgot after hearing it once. Lin Moyu took out the magic stone given by the Demon Emperor, and the magic stone shone brightly, projecting the stunning figure of the Demon Emperor. What's up? The Demon Emperor contacted himself suddenly, not knowing what happened. During the projection, Lillian's expression was a little dignified. Have you reached the god level? How do you know? Lin Moyu frowned slightly, instinctively thinking that the Demon Emperor still had sons in the human race. But when I think about it, I know that I think too much. He has reached the god level, even in the human race, no one knows. Here is the vast ocean, where can there be any spies? But how did the Demon Emperor know? Lillian said in a low voice, just now the will of the world recovered briefly, and it also affected the abyss. Lin Moyu suddenly realized that the abyss world is a fragmented world attached to the small world, and it is a parasite of the small world, and the will of the small world will naturally affect them. Lillian seemed a little displeased to see Lin Moyu, and explained, you don't have to deny it, I have no malicious intentions. Lin Moyu didn't hide it, I was indeed promoted to the god level, and you came to me for this. Don't worry, the cooperation between us is still valid. Lillian seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. Just now, shortly after the recovery of the world's wool, something happened to me. What's up? The series of demons I belong to, my superior demons have sent a message that they may come. Arrival. Are real demons coming in? Lin Moyu thought in his heart, but he didn't show much worry on the surface. Now he already knows the operating rules of this world. Even if the devil is about to come, it will be at the super god level at most. Moreover, the point of arrival can only be in the deep space, and then the connecting point with the abyss must be found from the deep space to truly reach the world of the abyss. It's not so easy to mess around in the deep space, and you may die halfway. In the deep space, there are no super god level monsters, and they may even encounter other races, or various dangers left over from the ancient war. Seeing Lin Moyu's expressionless face, Lillian said, aren't you worried at all? My high-level demons are at least super god level. Is it useful to worry? Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and changed the topic. Actually, you are more worried about yourself. Lillian's expression changed suddenly. She was caught by what Lin Moyu told her. She was really worried about herself. She had a special bloodline, a hybrid of human and demon. Once discovered, no matter whether it is a human race or a demon, they will not let her go. She doesn't have the self-confidence to hide her blood in front of the high-ranking demons. Most of the reason why I was worried was because of this, but I didn't expect to be pointed out by Lin Moyu. Lillian said in a deep voice, you're right, I'm really worried. One more thing, if they arrive, my rights will also disappear. At that time, they will order all the abyssal demons to attack the human race. Of course, with adults around, the human race will definitely not perish, but it is certain that there will be countless casualties. You sure don't want to see this scene either. In fact, Lin Moyu knew that Lillian was telling the truth. The human race will not be destroyed, but casualties are inevitable. The people of Shenxia have just passed through the disaster, and there is a lot of waste waiting to be done, so it is best not to be tossed about again. At the same time, Lin Moyu was also a little curious, why those high-level demons didn't come sooner or later, but now they are coming. So much time has passed, why did you pick this moment? Lin Moyu raised his own doubts. Lillian said, because the will of the world was revived just now, activating a knot in the abyss. This enchantment is hidden in the deepest part of the abyss world, and even I don't know it. If the will of the world really recovers, then their plan to invade the world will officially fail. That's why they have to rush down and make a final effort. Lin Moyu chuckled, those who don't know are really fearless. If they had known the situation in this world earlier, they would probably have given up. If those high-ranking demons knew that this world was so complicated, and that there was such an existence as Antares in this world, they would not let the fragmented world come over at all. The fragmented world is not something that can be obtained casually. For a race, it is a weapon and a very important strategic resource. Every time you use the fragmented world, you have to gain something. The invasion and capture of this world has already taken too much time. If the will of the world hadn't recovered before, then the demons might have to wait a little longer. They have a long lifespan, and it will not be a problem for many years or hundreds of years. But now that the will of the world is recovering, it may lead to the failure of the entire aggression plan, and even lose a fragment of the world. Demons are unwilling to bear such a loss. So after they learned about it, they chose to descend and notified the Demon Emperor. Order the Demon Emperor to welcome them in the abyss. Lin Moyu probably already guessed what the Demon Emperor meant. Now there are only two methods left. One is that before Lin Moyu comes, he will become the master of the world, completely revive the will of the world, and devour the fragmented world. That would mean that the aggression really failed, and the high-level demons don't need to descend again. The second is to block them and prevent them from fully descending. As for killing him, Lillian never thought about it. This is very clear, the opponent is at least super god level, and he is not an opponent at all. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, then said slowly, when will they come? The light of the magic stone gradually dimmed. Lillian's figure also disappeared, and Lin Moyu saw a trace of worry from her eyebrows. The upper demon will come in a month. 1 month is only an approximate time, and the exact time cannot be fully determined. Lillian is a smart person. She knows what to do and what not to do. What kind of choice is best for her? She has been doing this for so many years. At the same time, Lillian is also a life-saving person. She is ambitious and has higher ambitions. But the prerequisite for realizing the ambition is to survive. This time the devil came, it could be said to be the greatest danger to her. So she will never sit idly by. On the ancient battlefield, Antares opened his sleepy eyes, sprayed dragon breath on Lin Moyu, and complained, I really regret knowing you, since I met you bastard, I haven't been able to sleep peacefully once. Lin Moyu didn't care, and let the dragon's breath burn him, his body glowed with white light, and the undead shared his damage. We have a saying in the human race, which is, why sleep for a long time, you must sleep forever after death. It's not dead, I can live for hundreds of millions of years and never die. Antares bawled heavily, and the wind suddenly picked up, rolling up smoke and dust all over the sky. Lin Moyu smiled, okay, you can live forever, let me tell you something, the high-level demons of the abyss are coming. Antares Longan turned around, it's the recovery of the will of the world, which makes them anxious. Lin Moyu was not surprised that Antares could guess. With Antares' knowledge, it's important not to guess. Lin Moyu said, Lillian came to me, hoping that I could destroy them. Antares smiled, you must have other ideas. Lin Moyu hummed, I don't think Lillian's ideas are safe, they should be eliminated. Antares agreed with Lin Moyu's idea very much, your idea is correct, and you have the ability to do it. But don't underestimate Lillian, she can become the Devil Emperor, she's so smart, it's very good. Lin Moyu asked, and Huli? Of course there is. Do you think she has been the Devil Emperor for so many years for nothing? It's just that the second hand is of no benefit to her, but if it is to save her life, do you think she will do it? Antares' tone was a bit weird, obviously after it knew what Lillian had left behind, it had a mean expression, obviously saying, come and ask me. Lin Moyu didn't ask, her backhand may not be needed. Destroy the high-ranking demons, become the master of the world, and devour the two fragmented worlds of Dragon Realm and Abyss. Although the two fragmented worlds are small, they also possess a trace of world power. After devouring him, it can also make the small world stronger. Lin Moyu looked at Antares, one more thing, I'm getting married. Married? How many mothers? Antares asked casually. A black line appeared on Lin Moyu's forehead, what is it called a few females? 4, you should be able to guess. The wedding is scheduled for a month later, and then I will come to give you wedding candies. And the high-level demons will come at about the same time. I hope their eyes will brighten up, and don't come at that time. Lin Moyu said viciously, if he dared to destroy his wedding, he would definitely let those demons who descended know what torture is. Antares smiled, don't worry, I will help you when the time comes, none of them can escape. Lin Moyu's wedding preparations are getting bigger and bigger, and Yuanjing Zufu Square, which can accommodate 100,000 people, is fully occupied. The square is decorated with lights and festoons, attracting a large number of students to watch every day. It clearly occupied their place, but no one dared to speak out against it. Meng Anwen and others personally arranged, and the object of marriage is Lin Moyu, who would dare to object. Not only did they not object, the students also fully cooperated. Who made Lin Moyu their idol? In 1 month, Lin Moyu has fully adapted to his level 90 strength. Compared with level 89, the attributes have been significantly improved. Especially mental power, the biggest improvement. The improvement of mental power can make the spells of skeletons more powerful. As for the summoning system and the soul system, there is not much difference. Lin Moyu has been staying in Beishan Courtyard since he came back from Antares. He comprehended the law, the two sides of the law of immortality, which fascinated him. He was so deeply involved that he couldn't extricate himself, and he didn't even have time to comprehend the law of time. Meals need to be eaten at one bite, and the road needs to be walked step by step. Lin Moyu is very aware of this truth and never aims too high. The realization of the law made Lin Moyu's comprehension very fast. In less than a month, its efficiency is comparable to others' hard work of several years, or even more than 10 years. The embodiment of the law can be called the first sharp weapon to comprehend the law. A month passed in a blink of an eye, and Lin Moyu left a few days ago to send wedding candy to Antares. 0. Asking for flowers. Xiajing Academy became very lively at the moment, and a large number of people came to Xiajing City to attend Lin Moyu's wedding. A rough calculation of the number of people is as many as 10,000 people. When Lin Moyu saw this scale, he couldn't help being shocked. This scale is too big. Thousands of wine tables were placed neatly in the square of Xiajing Academy, and each table, and even each seat, clearly marked the name of the visitor. Here, there are strict grade restrictions, and you can't sit around. The people who can come to the wedding are all prominent figures in the Shengxia Empire. From the royal family, to the major families, and then to the top military officials. All of them are prominent. On the day of the wedding, the square of Xiajing Academy became extremely lively. Well-dressed soldiers stood there to greet the guests. What is the identity of Lin Moyu, the only 6-star general in the world? He wants to get married. How can he do it without using the army? Will God not need to arrange for him? Lin Moyu looked at the twitching eyelids. Teacher, is it too much? Bai Yiyuan didn't care. What's wrong with you? Don't forget your identity. You can be the strongest of the human race, a 6-star god general, and a human idol. There is no reason why there is nothing wrong with it. It was rare for Yan Guangsheng to agree with Bai Yiyuan's words, that is, you have to pay attention to your identity. Thousands of troops are not afraid, such a small scene is trivial. Xiaoyu, you are not afraid of strangers, are you? Not at all, Xiaoyu. The two of them were dressed in Shengxia Kingdom's unique costumes today, and they were tidy, with deep smiles on their faces. Lin Moyu is their disciple and treats them like a parent and child. Lin Moyu's wedding today is even happier than their own wedding. Yiyuan, are you all ready? The guests are almost here, and the hour will be here in a while. Zhu Qingyu walked over with several girlfriends. At this time, Zhu Qingyu's lower abdomen has slightly bulged, and she has become a mother-to-be. Many of Lin Moyu's marriages this time were arranged by her. After all, a rough man like Bai Yiyuan can't think of many details. Even Meng Anwen is not as careful as Zhu Qingyu. Men and women are different, and they will remain the same through the ages. Master, hello. Lin Moyu greeted Zhu Qingyu respectfully. Zhu Qingyu also likes this child Lin Moyu very much, with loving eyes in her eyes. Okay, Xiaoyu, get ready, the Shui wedding is about to officially start. Don't be nervous, just follow along, the teacher has made arrangements. Lin Moyu smiled. Thank you, Mrs. Shi, for your trouble. In the square of Xiajing Academy, there was a great deal of voices. It is unprecedented to hold a wedding in Xiajing Academy. On the platform set up in the square, Meng Anwen walked up to it. Everyone, please be quiet. With Meng Anwen's clear voice, the audience fell silent for an instant. Meng Anwen said slowly, today is the day of great joy for General Lin Moyu, and also the day of great joy for our Shengxia Empire. There is something in Meng Anwen's words, and everyone understands it. What Lin Moyu has done for the human race and the Shengxia Empire has been compiled into a book and is widely known. The rise of Lin Moyu is legendary. It has reached an astonishing height in just a few years. Meng Anwen said some polite words. He is Lin Moyu's teacher and the officiant. With Meng Anwen announcing the official start of the wedding, pleasant music sounded in the square. Hundreds of professional musicians played and sang for Lin Moyu. The sound of the music is also faintly accompanied by the ancient poem of the Shengxia Empire. Many professional poets have to recite ancient poems. Music and poetry complement each other, which is clearly audible, but not noisy. In the unique ceremony of the Shengxia Empire, 4 brides entered the arena side by side. There were no elders accompanying him, and the 4 brides came hand in scarlet gowns. The faces of the 4 are full of spring, as gorgeous as peaches and plums, so beautiful that they cannot be squared. 4 beams of light descended from the sky and landed on the 4 of them. At the same time, countless golden light scattered, making the 4 of them look like fairies in mythology. The 4 are stunningly beautiful. Lin Moyu did not know when he appeared on the stage, also wearing a red robe and the unique costumes of the Shengxia Empire. He is tall and straight, with a jade tree facing the wind. General Lin Shen is so handsome, and the bride is so beautiful. Golden Boy and Jade Girl, a match made in heaven, is enviable. Only such a beautiful woman is worthy of Lin Shenjiang. Kill the most enemies and marry the most beautiful woman, General Lin, a role model for us. Everyone below is envious of Lin Moyu, Ning Yi and the others. When the gap reaches a certain level, there will be no more jealousy, only envy and worship. The 4 of Ning Yi walked hand in hand through the long wedding carpet and came to Lin Moyu. Ning Yi hadn't seen Lin Moyu for a long time, and there was miss in her eyes, but also playfulness. He, are you a little nervous? Lin Moyu reached out and scratched Ning Yi's nose. I think you are the one who is nervous. Ning Yi stuck out her tongue. I'm not nervous, it's them who are nervous. As soon as Ning Yi said this, the faces of the 3 people around her immediately flushed. They were indeed very nervous. Even Mo Yun became awkward at this moment. As the big sister among the crowd, Xu Han is the shyest one. On the contrary, Mu Xiangshan was much better. A pair of beautiful eyes looked at Lin Moyu. The eyes were full of happiness. Lin Moyu looked at the 4 of them and smiled brightly. Needless to say anything, silence speaks louder than words. This smile has already said everything that I want to say in my heart. Although Lin Moyu talked a lot in Antares, but in front of others, he talked very little. Even with Ning Yi, it's not too much. But his eyes and smile are enough to replace words. Meng Anwen suddenly said loudly, just prepare to salute. Before waiting for the second half of the sentence, Lin Moyu suddenly interrupted him. Teacher, wait a little longer. Meng Anwen was slightly taken aback. What's wrong? There's still someone who hasn't arrived yet. Wait a second, she's almost here. Lin Moyu looked at the distant sky, which was the direction of the creation seminary. His eyes penetrated the space and saw a distant place, where laws roared, and a beautiful figure was rushing towards him. The smile became stronger and stronger, and Lin Mohan finally came. Everyone on the field saw that Lin Moyu interrupted Meng Anwen's words, saying that he had to wait for someone, and all of them showed strange faces. The bride is here, who else is waiting for? Suddenly someone shouted, I see, General Lin Shen is waiting for his sister. Yes, General Lin Shen also has a sister. It is said that Lin Shenjiang's sister is also a genius, and was accepted by Dai Suan as a close disciple. Shenjiang Lin's elder sister seldom appears. She is very mysterious. This time I can finally meet a real person. Soon, Meng Anwen and others also sensed the breath of law. A bright sword light pierced the sky, spanning thousands of miles in an instant. A stunning figure appeared above the academy. The invisible sword energy pervades the air, and the sword energy carries astonishing laws, accompanied by huge coercion, making everyone breathless. The beauty of Lin Mohan is completely different from that of Ning Yi and others. She exudes such an astonishing sharpness that people dare not look directly at her. Good. So beautiful. Shenjiang Lin's sister is so beautiful. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also very powerful. I feel that her sword energy can kill me 8 times with just one blow. Everyone below looked up at Lin Mohan with shock on their faces. Xiaoyu, congratulations. With a smile, Lin Mohan descended from the sky and landed directly beside Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu also smiled. Sister, you are finally here. 0. She is Lin Moyu's only blood relative in this world, and Lin Moyu is also her only close relative. Although the two got together less and separated more after they became adults, their mutual affection never weakened. Feeling relieved, Lin Mohan looked at Lin Moyu, then at the 4 shy brides. Have more children in the future. This sentence made the 4 of them immediately lower their heads. Even the eccentric Ning Yi couldn't hold back at this moment. This is not the first time I have dealt with Lin Mohan. This elder sister always speaks like this amazingly. Then she looked at Lin Moyu again. You too, work hard. Don't think about training and upgrading all day long. The baby is the top priority. Lin Moyu was very helpless, but under Lin Mohan's sharp gaze, he could only honestly agree. I will work hard. Who told her to be his own sister? There was no other way. She endured the calm for a while and took a step back. What's more, this is really not a trivial matter. Lin Mohan took 2 steps back. Okay, go on, don't miss the hour, I will watch the ceremony next to you. As she spoke, she nodded to Meng Anwen, indicating that she could continue. Meng Anwen resumed his identity as the host, and shouted loudly, "Salute." According to the tradition of the Shengxia Empire, the husband and wife bowed to each other and completed the entire ceremony. Lin Mohan watched the whole process, and moisture appeared in her eyes unknowingly. My younger brother has finally grown up. No matter how powerful Lin Moyu is, in her eyes, she will always be her younger brother, the only doctor. Little brother, you have grown up and become stronger. Asterisk 2.6 In this way, my sister can rest assured. Quote, Lin Mohan had crystal eyes and a bright smile. But there was a trace of reluctance in his eyes. Lin Moyu caught the strangeness in Lin Mohan's eyes, and couldn't help but thump in his heart. His extremely keen soul made him feel that something was wrong, but he couldn't tell what was wrong. In fact, this feeling already existed a month ago. At that time, Lin Mohan's behavior was a little weird, but Lin Moyu didn't think of the reason. Besides, for many years, his trust in his sister made him feel that he was thinking too much. Now it seems that there must be something heavy on my sister. After the salute, the wedding banquet officially begins. Lin Moyu, Ning Yi and others will toast the guests and receive blessings at the same time. Lin Moyu will have a very busy day. Lin Mohan looked at the busy Lin Moyu, the moisture in his eyes disappeared, and the sharpness returned. Lin Moyu focused on 2 things, and part of his mind was always paying attention to Lin Mohan. Any changes in Lin Mohan did not escape Lin Moyu's induction. Until Lin Mohan chose a time when he was the busiest, and left quietly. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly, and Ning Yi beside her immediately felt the change in Lin Moyu. What's wrong? Lin Moyu whispered, Yi, I have something to do, I need to leave. Go get busy, we are here. Ning Yi asked why. She is smart and understands Lin Moyu very well, some things don't need to be asked. Shu Han also said, go get busy, just leave the matter here to us. After being shy, she gradually regained the appearance of a confidant senior sister. Her temperament is like a warm sun, which makes people feel comfortable. Lin Moyu nodded, I'll be back as soon as possible. Lin Moyu explained to Meng Anwen and others again, and left the venue without a sound. The wings of the undead flickered, and quickly followed in the direction Lin Mohan was leaving. Lin Mohan left without looking back, his speed was getting faster and faster, he had flown thousands of kilometers in a blink of an eye, and left the land. Looking at the blue ocean, Lin Mohan said in a low voice, come out. A voice sounded in the glow, are you done? Lin Mohan raised his head, showing his neck like a swan, before I leave, I have one more question. You say, can I come back later? Lin Mohan asked the question she wanted to know the most. After going to the big world, can she come back? The other party immediately gave an answer, but this answer was a bit cold, of course I can come back, but what's the point of coming back? When you have the ability to come back, it may be thousands of years later. The people here have already turned into dry bones, meaningless. For hundreds of thousands of years, things have changed. If you fail to leave this world, even if you reach the super god level, you can only live for 500 years at this level. The stronger the strength, the longer you can live. Lin Mohan said, then can't you take a few more people out? It doesn't make sense, the people here are too talented and not qualified enough, and it's useless to go out. The other party refused decisively, without giving Lin Mohan any hope. Oh, I'm afraid you are not capable. The sound of the soul pierced the world, and Lin Moyu appeared beside Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan was surprised, little brother, why are you here? Lin Moyu smiled slightly, then I have to ask you, why don't you tell me something? Lin Mohan smiled, there are some things, it's useless to tell you. Lin Moyu doesn't think so, how do you know if it's useful if you don't talk about it? Then Lin Moyu also raised his head and looked at where the sky light came from, who are you? I take back what I said just now, your talent is very good, and you have the opportunity to enter the big world. Perhaps because Lin Moyu's talent is too amazing, the other party's tone has changed a little. There was indifference in Lin Moyu's voice, you want to take my sister away, but you refuse to show up, so it's nothing to hide your head and show your tail. In fact, he is very clear that if he can bring someone out of the small world, the opponent's strength must be stronger, far surpassing himself. But that's all, it's impossible to be obedient to yourself. What's more, it was his sister who the other party wanted to take away. How could Lin Moyu agree without knowing the cause and effect? But Lin Moyu is not without brains, just the 2 or 3 sentences just now, he has already analyzed a lot of things. The other party must have a reason for wanting to take Lin Mohan away, and also said that Lin Mohan might be able to come back in 1,000 years. It shows that the other party has no malice towards Lin Mohan, and Lin Mohan can live for thousands of years, at least he must reach the true God level. After such an analysis through the analysis, Lin Moyu had a guess in his mind. It's not necessarily accurate, but it's about the same. Based on this analysis, Lin Moyu also knows what to do next. Boy, if the deity shows up, this world may collapse. Lin Moyu chuckled, it seems that you are not strong enough, you don't even know how to project. There was a trace of anxiety in Lin Mohan's eyes, she knew how powerful the other party was, and Lin Moyu might irritate the other party by speaking like this. But Lin Moyu winked at Lin Mohan, signaling her not to worry. The deity is just too lazy to do these things. As expected, the other party was a little angry, and the rays of light changed suddenly, intertwined with each other, and quickly gathered a figure in the air. She is just a projection, standing there like a sharp sword standing between heaven and earth. The projection is full of powerful sword intent, every word and action, every move is sharp. The sharp breath is somewhat similar to Lin Modi. Not only the breath, but even the appearance of the people are 3 points similar, and they are also beautiful. Especially on her body, she exudes a strong majesty, and it is obvious that she has been in a high position all year round. Lin Moyu judged that the other party should also be practicing kendo-like laws, and had comprehended to a very deep level. After she made the projection, her voice also changed. The previous voice was indistinguishable from male to female, like a machine. Now her original voice appeared, you know that with your attitude, in the big world, this deity has already beheaded you thousands of times. There was a hint of killing intent in the words, and it landed on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was not afraid, you also said that it is the big world. If you want to take my sister away from the small world, you have to get my consent. She had a cold face, and her tone was filled with disdain. With your consent, what are you? Lin Moyu smiled slightly, same as you, I'm human. The other party obviously didn't expect Lin Moyu to answer like this. She asked about strength, but Lin Moyu answered about status. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. At this time Lin Moyu continued, no matter what your identity is, you must always tell me who you are, where you are taking my sister, and what you are doing. Otherwise. Lin Moyu took a deep breath, and said firmly and forcefully, otherwise, you won't be able to take it away. The other party laughed angrily at Lin Moyu's words, and the laughter turned into countless sword auras, hovering in the air. Countless swords turned into sharp swords, pointing faintly at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu felt that the other party was strong, even if it was just a projection. She also had the 593 ability to kill herself. The opponent is definitely more than the true God level. The true God level does not have this ability. Then the opponent is the king of gods. Or a stronger existence. Lin Mohan wanted to stand in front of Lin Moyu, but was pulled behind him by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't change his face. Don't scare me, I didn't scare you too much, answer my question. Why? The sword energy hovered, but did not fall. Her expression changed several times, and finally her eyes softened and she looked at Lin Mohan. For the sake of your sister and brother's deep love, I forgive you for your disrespect. I come from the big world, titled Junlan, and the realm of gods. Today I want to accept Lin Mohan as my personal disciple. She has already seen that if she doesn't play tricks on Lin Moyu today, she won't be able to take Lin Mohan away. And she wanted to accept Lin Mohan as a disciple. It was impossible to kill Lin Moyu, then her disciple would not be accepted either. Lin Moyu chuckled, that's right, it's really amazing. But how do I know what you said is true or false? What is your identity, why do you need to lie to you? The sword orchid god was laughed angrily. If he didn't really want to accept Lin Mohan, he would have cut him down with a sword, and let this stinky boy fly out of his wits. But she was also faintly surprised. How could the brat in front of her have such confidence to talk to herself like this? Even those god kings in the big world dare not talk to themselves like this. Who knows? Lin Moyu said casually, angering the sword orchid god again. Court death. The sword energy roared, and the sky was torn apart like rags. Just before Junlan Shenjun was completely angry, Lin Moyu smiled and said, it's okay, I have a way to prove it.